7-Up flatters the flavor, whatever you favor. In 1964, 7-Up released a pamphlet called Great Drinks Made Simple with an assist from 7-Up. It's a beautiful looking booklet, and this one happens to be in excellent condition even 60 years later. And it says, what every host needs to know, you don't have to be an expert to make truly great drinks. 7-Up has a truly unique flavor and sparkle. It even stirs itself. Yeah, sure. The booklet even offers a handy bar measuring guide and info on glass sizes. So I've picked out a few cocktails from this booklet from 1964. More than a few. I picked out 7. And we'll find out if 7-Up does flatter the flavor, whatever you favor. So let's start with the 7-Up Planter's Punch. I'm gonna fill a tall 10-ounce glass with crushed ice. Then I'm gonna add in 1.5 ounces of a dark rum, 3/4 ounces of brandy, 1/4 teaspoon of grenadine, 1 tablespoon of lime juice, and then fill up with 7-Up. So there you go, the 7-Up Planter's Punch. All right, let's try it. It's pretty good. That's really good. Expecting it not to work. It works. The dark rum is the thing you get first and foremost, and some sweetness with some lemon limey going on. It's very similar to a regular Planter's Punch I would normally have. Sometimes in a Planter's Punch, you can put some soda in there. There's not a lot of effervescence left over in this drink. The brandy, totally lost there. I thought it might take over, but that's wonderful. That's delicious. And if that's a sign of what's to come, I'm changing my attitude here. I thought it would taste like, it doesn't really even taste like 7-Up. So that is a really good first start. So let's move on now to a drink with light rum and brandy. It's the 7-Up Long Shot. For the long shot, I'm gonna fill up a 10-ounce glass of crushed ice. Now I'm gonna add 1.5 ounces of my light rum and 3/4 ounces of brandy. Then I'll fill it with my chilled 7-Up. No need to stir, the sparkling 7-Up mixes itself. Serve this with straws. It mixes itself, guys, obviously. You could tell that it definitely mixed itself up. So let's try the long shot. I'm curious how similar it's going to be to that Planter's Punch, considering a lot of the same, but a light rum instead. And the dark rum in the last one was really like the key flavor going on. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Because the light rum is acting like a vodka. So it's just like a little bit of, it's like a soda and brandy. And the 7-Up is not coming through that much. It is odd how much I like that Planter's Punch and how this is so similar, yet so different. But you're missing that, I guess, just a touch of sweetness that the grenadine had in the Planter's Punch. Plus, you're missing a little bit more of that acidity from real juice and not just 7-Up. So this is one of those cocktails that I don't typically prefer, which is just soda and spirit. And the fact that it's a light rum is just totally lost. So it's like a little bit of watered down brandy and 7-Up. Not for me. Probably not for most people. But just kind of fun and interesting how different it is than the last one, considering how close they are to being the same. Let's move along now to a drink with gin, light rum, and peach liqueur, the 7-Up Velvet Glove. To make the Velvet Glove, I'm going to take a wedge of lime and I'm going to squeeze it into the glass. I'm going to fill this with ice cubes. Then I'm going to add 1.5 ounces of gin, 3/8 an ounce of light rum, and then half a teaspoon of peach liqueur. Now, I'll fill it up with some 7-Up. So there you go, the 7-Up Velvet Glove. All right, so far, highs and lows, peaks and valleys. Let's find out if the velvet glove works. Cheers. Huh. Well, well, well. We are back on track. We are coming back around. This is really good. The light rum, once again, these mid-century drinks where they're just mixing brandy and gin or brandy and rum. Who the hell knows why? Just that was the thing to do then. But gin, some sweetness from the peach, it's just like a hint of that peach liqueur, and it's just enough to make you wonder what it is. And then getting some real juice in there just a little bit. And then obviously the 7 Up. Man, 7 Up is a powerful mixer. I've never thought about this until I got this booklet. Maybe better than that Planter's Punch. And I just like that it's different. I like that we're using gin and the peach liqueur. Just a lot of layers to it. And still just like the mildness of 7 Up coming through, giving a little bit of the sparkle, a little bit of the flavor that I favor. Is that what it's called? Yeah, it's flattering the flavors that I favor, which is gin and a little bit of peach. It's really good. Next up, we're gonna do the Ramos Gin Fizz with 7 Up. And I happen to be a fine student of the Ramos Gin Fizz, and I know to make a proper Ramos Gin Fizz, you must shake it for 6 minutes. Sometimes less, but I've done extensive testing here. I will tell you that reverse shaking, dry shaking, none of that matters. It's about shaking it for a really long time, which I just don't want to do. I don't think it's really worth it. So instead, I'm going to do a little cheat here. I'm going to use the old drink mixer. So let's get started with 2 tablespoons of lime juice, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of superfine sugar, 3 ounces of gin, 1 ounce of cream, and half a teaspoon of orange flower water. Before we put in the drink mixer, I'm going to take my glass with some lemon and add a powdered sugar rim. Now I'm going to put the drink through the drink mixer. And I'm going to top this with 7 Up. All right, drink mixer for the win when it comes to a gin fizz. So let's try the 7 Up Ramos Gin Fizz. I just realized there's no egg in here, no egg white. So it's very good. It is not quite as great as, let's say, one you could get from New Orleans. That combination of the gin and the cream and the acid and the lemon lime soda, it's still great. It's just not quite a traditional gin fizz. I think if you took whatever your favorite gin fizz is and replaced the sparkling in it with 7 Up, it would probably be better. So that's another win for 7 Up here. It's doing pretty well so far. 3 for 4, and this is good. So let's move on to a drink called the Pride of St. Louis. It has whiskey and lemon juice. We're gonna take a 10-ounce glass and fill it with crushed ice. Now I'm gonna add 2 1/4 ounces of whiskey, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, and 3 dashes of Angostura bitters. Next, I'll fill it with chilled 7 Up. Decorate with a lemon peel. So there you go, the Pride of St. Louis. Okay, it's whiskey, some lemon, and some soda. So it's nothing reinventing the wheel here. It's nothing groundbreaking. But I think if you're a whiskey fan, you want to mix it up a little bit, this will work for you. This is no surprise, but we are finding out that when you take something like a soda, whatever that soda is, 7 Up, Coca-Cola, whatever it is, and you add in a little bit of freshness through some fresh juice. Doesn't have to be an ounce, could be tablespoons. It's going to help it so much. It's why drinks like the Dark and Stormy suck, because there's no acidity at all. But having the lemon lime soda give you like a little bit of lemon lime flavor, as well as some sweetness, and then having just that extra, bit of sharpness from fresh juice helps out so much. And it's why the ones that are working here so far are working, and the only one that has not worked lacks any sort of fresh acidity at all. And it hits all those notes. If you really want a strong bourbon drink with just a little bit of sweetness, then you're going to want to try the Pride of St. Louis. All right, we're moving on to a couple fun ones here, and we're doing a 7 Up Frozen Daiquiri. And this requires some frozen lemonade, which is very hard to find nowadays. It's not always in stock like it was back in the 80s. So I'm using a pink frozen lemonade instead. And it's really just 1 part lemonade, 2 parts rum, and 3 parts 7 Up. You're going to combine all the ingredients and pour them into an ice cube tray, freeze that overnight. Now I'm going to take a blender, and I'm going to place my slushy mix into the blender. And there you go, a 7 Up pink lemonade daiquiri. All right, let's try it. First of all, it tastes great. It's a touch sweet, not too sweet. Amazing consistency. That is so good for a slushy style drink. And I can't help but think about when this booklet came out and who was making these. I'm thinking like 1960s dinner parties, your Betty Draper like character picking up a case of 7 Up at the store, making this, and then everyone gathering around and sort of snickering and her getting upset about it. Like, what? Why is everyone making fun of me? And her husband says, 7 Up flatters the flavor, whatever your favor. Yeah, some madman, some executive came up with this, and I gotta tell you, like, I was expecting these to all suck, and so far, they're. I mean, we're now 5 or 6 out of these. Like 5 out of 6 of these are like very good. Take that back. 4 out of 6 are very good. 1 is pretty decent. 1 not good. But I love that. Great consistency, great texture, great flavor. It's excellent. It's an excellent summertime drink, even though we're in the fall, but delicious. All right, just one more 7 Up cocktail to go. And this is the strangest one out of all of them. It has vodka, creme de menthe, and then 7 Up ice cubes. And I thought I'd mix it up a little bit and use cherry 7 Up ice cubes. So I already put those in the freezer. And the way we're going to make this is we're going to fill an old-fashioned glass with 7 Up crushed ice. So we're going to put in our ice cubes and crush them. Then we're going to pour in the vodka and the creme de menthe. We're going to stir this. All right, let's try the 7 Up Cherry Mint Frappe. I don't know what type of wizard they had back in 1964 to put together this booklet, but we just made a drink with vodka, creme de menthe, and cherry 7 Up. And it's good. I mean, it's way different. It's way different from everything else. But because of that, I find it to be very appealing, very interesting. So many of these old booklets I come across, it's just trash. It's just regurgitated recipes that they find. It's like, how many different ways can we, make a rum punch that we can sell more rum, but they're never like inventive cocktails. And no offense to the Trader Vic bartender's guides, but you go through those and there's just like hundreds of cocktails that are all slight variations on something else, on the thing that was just before it, and it's boring. I had low expectations here for the 7-Up cocktails. I think that now we've done 7, 6 of them good, 5 of them and maybe great, maybe. It's as if the person that put together the recipes in that book actually knew what the hell they were doing, and they actually tested them and they tried them and they made something good and delicious. So I don't want to hype it up too much and say that these are the best cocktails you're ever going to have. It's fun. Each one of them has the uniqueness of not knowing what it is you're drinking, not knowing that it's 7-Ups, and 7-Up is more of a generic flavor profile. It's lemon lime. It's not that inventive. It's not like the complexity of Coca-Cola or Dr. Pepper. So it's hard to even tell that that's in each drink, but it's adding some sweetness, some lemon lime flavor, some effervescence to some of them, and then putting it into freezer drinks. It works. It just everything for the most part has worked and worked well. So there you have it, 7-Up cocktails, and who would have known that these would have turned out to be so delicious from 1964? And I already know some of you out there will be like, actually, I knew that 7-Up made. You didn't know. Nobody knew this. No one knew these were going to work so well, especially from 1964. And I checked the booklet. No real information about whoever contributed to this, but I did see the address on the back with St. Louis. I didn't know before now that 7-Up had a connection to St. Louis. So all of these cocktails, most of them, the pride of St. Louis, all of them get that moniker. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a like below. Consider subscribing to the channel if you want to support this channel more. Check out my Patreon page, and otherwise I will see you on the next one.